Because I am the master of you and everything else in the world.
The Count's voice rang out from all directions.
For I am the master of darkness.
Hi there, thanks for looking in. Now, do you like creepy books complete with danger, intrigue, tension, with vivid and smooth writing, amazing characters and wonderful dialogue? I'm Andy, the audiobook narrator, and in this video I'll review the brilliant first book in the epic Count at Play and Slaughter series of 5 books written by the mysterious C.L. Holmes. Book 1 is entitled Amalina and the Secrets of the Wailing Castle, a book I narrated in early 2022. And stay with me through the video so that you can get to hear a short audio clip and help yourself to a free download of the entire audiobook to keep for good. I described C.L. Holmes as mysterious because he does keep a low public profile, and he is a relatively new author on the fantasy scene. This book was first published on Amazon in December 2019. But what a talent he is! And when I say fantasy, well, arguably it is quite hard to pigeonhole this amazing work into a specific genre. Some might describe it as a horror story. Indeed, it was winner of the 2021 Indies Today Best Horror Book Award, simply because one of its central characters is Count Tepshi, an extraordinarily powerful, mysterious and murderous figure with supernatural powers who has been around for centuries and who lives in a dark castle high up in the mountains of Ardil, a remote region in Eastern Europe somewhere. The precise location is left to your imagination, but my guess is that if it existed, it would be somewhere like Hungary, Romania, Moldova or the like. The Count would appear to be a vampire, thus the horror tag that the book attracts. Although he denies that he is just a boring old archetypal bloodsucker. Like the book, he too is quite hard to categorise. The folk who live in the towns and villages locally are terrified of him but never speak of him. And from time to time he visits during the night and helps himself to the blood of a victim, usually a young woman, which I suppose sounds like horror, but the sophisticated and graceful way that Holmes writes tends to dampen the gore somewhat. Now, the character from the title, Amalina, a teenage girl who works in the village bakery owned by her father, one night sees the Count kill a village girl in the street below her bedroom window. The Count spots her, but for some reason spares her, and Amalina is shocked to find that the people of the village close ranks and cover up the killing as if nothing ever happened. This leads her to suspect that the Count has some kind of power over them, which of course he does. Now in this clip, Amalina has just seen the Count's despicable murder of Lucinda, his victim, in the street below, and he spots Amalina and is up to her open window in a flash. And so, and so. When the man, framed in the window, had her in his arms and his teeth fell to her neck, everything went black. For some reason at that moment, Amalina had closed her eyes and let herself go limp, the way some small animals do when a predator has its fatal, unassailable grip on them. The motion felt serene and dreamlike. She did not feel his teeth bite in. Time passed, or it did not. All was darkness, but she felt his breath building there on her skin like a thick, warm breeze.
No,
she'd heard the man say, as he pulled back. Her eyes had opened slightly, her vision more watery than clear. He'd said nothing then, but it was as if she could read his mind through his expression, his large, expressive eyes.
I want you,
she heard him think.
By all rights I have you, but you are forbidden.
He shook her in a sudden fit of rage. his golden conquest being so unjustly thwarted. But why could he not kill her as he'd just done Lucinda? Amalina had wondered, with Lucinda's lifeless body still warm and trickling on the street below. Why could he not strike? His fit ended, and he seemed content to stare at her, to study her. Then his round lips had pulled back into a red-stained smile of sinister delight, Lucinda's fresh blood coating his teeth.
Perfect,
He'd muttered aloud to himself.
She is perfect. Yes. Oh, so.
Then shaking his head slowly,
But not now. No, not now.
The plot thickens, and evidently having fascinated the Count for some unfathomable reason, Amalina finds herself later taken by him, kidnapped in her eyes, into employment at his castle, under the watchful eye of Gennady, the Count's strange, quirky and characterful servant. But what are the Count's motives? He has certainly not taken Amalina simply to be his lunch, or for any ungentlemanly reasons. So this book, and indeed the whole series of 5 books, is more than a vampire story, and in my view, it is not a horror story either. Sure, there is a bit of blood spilt here and there, but the violence is limited and not too graphically described, and there is no eroticism or bad language. So I would say that it is good, wholesome family entertainment. The interaction between the characters, especially Amalina, the Count, and Gennady, is wonderful, really well scripted and often quite humorous. If I was pressed into categorising the book, I would say dark fantasy and leave it there. The fact it is so hard to pin down makes it so intriguing and entertaining. And what I would also say is that the series of 5 books really builds into epic proportions. The books are quite long and detailed, and those of you who loved such celebrated fantasy sagas such as Lord of the Rings or the Harry Potter books will love this series, which, by the way, is suitable for all ages from 16 to 116. You can find out more about the complete series on C.L. Holmes's website, along with his comments about the audiobook version. I've put the address in the notes for this video below. Now, earlier I said that I would tell you how to get yourself a free copy of the audiobook version. I have a number of free Audible download codes, so to get yours, email me to the address below, and I'll send you one along with the website address where you can redeem it. Or contact me through my website. Here is the web address for you of my website, and you'll find it in the video notes below as well. Now, you don't need to take out an ongoing subscription to Audible, but you do get to keep the audiobook for good, so go on, email me to get yours. Or get it for someone you know who loves fantasy stories and give it to them as a gift. If audiobooks aren't so much your thing, the book is for sale in ebook, paperback and hardback on Amazon, so please do check it out. Okay, so that's all for now. I hope you're going to enjoy Amalina and the Secrets of the Wailing Castle. I also narrated the second book in the series, and I'll review that in another video soon. If you liked this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up symbol and click the subscribe button below as well to get access to more of my videos on all sorts of things related to audiobooks for listeners, authors and budding narrators. Thanks for listening and watching, and see me again soon. Bye for now.